Hey everybody, it's Joe from Joe's Minibike Reunion podcast. If you get a chance, like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube channel. It's like mandatory. Supposedly, we all get like $50 million and everybody gets a kickback. Do it now. Thanks.
Yes, this is FastMike Eastside Racing. You ride Joe's Minibike Reunion podcast.
Driving directions on your phone? Oh no! That's not fun! Navigate hands-free with Apple CarPlay.
How much fun can you fit into 20 seconds? At GoPowersports.com, we sell fun.
Hey everybody, in the mini bike game, everybody's kind of slow rolling. But when it comes to drag racing, there's one dude, he's on the throttle all the time. He's FastMike. He's from Eastside Racing, and he's coming up next on Joe's Minibike Reunion podcast. Don't move. Hey everybody, welcome to another, a delayed Joe's Minibike Reunion podcast. Me and Eve been busy. I've got a feeling you're going to like tonight's show. Now we've been working late and we're in the garage and it's hot, and Eve decided to bring these Hollywood lights here, so we're going to be sweating, but it's going to be worth the ride. No P Diddy gel and none of that shit, but it's going to be hot and sweaty. Welcome to the podcast. Want to give thanks to our sponsors, guys from Go Power Sports. Look forward to seeing our friends from Studs Racing, our friends at GTS, and obviously our friends from Pioneer Car Electronics who helped put all this stuff together. This is episode 5 of the podcast, and I've been missing you guys. Been busy. Throughout the podcast, you'll probably see a bunch of boxes that are lined up. I see that the apparel came in today. We've got a new design, so I'm excited about that. We've got a new poster that Jake Moe suggested, so we put that in play. It's not as big as that big poster we did on the top 50 personalities, but we're going to have some of those, as well as a bunch of other cool things at the upcoming Joe's Minibike Reunion, which is the 12th. It's breathing right down our back. This is a podcast that you should be viewing sometime on a Friday, the week before the event. We're going to squeeze in another pre-event podcast that'll drop on the 9th of October, which will be a Wednesday, probably sometime after 7 Pacific time. So keep an eye out for that. Jake Moe will join me as we look into some of the past reunions, but also, and probably more importantly, what's going to be happening at this one. And there's a lot happening. We adjusted some of the awards. We put together a nice roster of prizes that we're going to be giving away. We've got a couple of new things happening. One of them is this promotional tent, where we'll have a chance to bring up select bikes that will be of interest to folks, give the owner a chance to maybe walk around, talk a little bit about the highlights. We're going to have an autograph session for some of the folks that were in the top 50 personality poster, as well as some guys that will be elected into the Hall of Fame. Give a shout out to our man Ozzy, 9286, as well as Eric Shingles. Both of those guys will be inducted into the 2024 Hall of Fame. And for those of you who are in the Hall of Fame, we welcome all of you to step out. Come on out. We've got In-N-Out Burger is going to be there, which I'm really excited about. If you're interested in volunteering, this would be the time to do it. Step up, give us a call, 818-248-4900. Getting ahead of myself only because it's just countdown time. On the podcast tonight is a guy who probably should have been on here before I started the podcast. Mike Stevens, FastMike, Eastside Racing, has been an OG racer, and we'll just leave it at that. How much he gets into the building, how much he gets into the riding, how much he gets into the shenanigans and fun and excitement that's been happening down in Anna Street and the likes for decades now. I grabbed a photo of Mike while he was talking to Jake Moe hanging in the garage, and that's going to be one I look forward to seeing 10, 20, 30 years from now if I'm still around. But this guy's been here forever. I'm anxious to have him on. Once again, it's Joe's Minibike Reunion. I think by the time this is on, the pre-registration, it stopped. We had about 65, 70 bikes. And typically, most of the bikes that attend are those that just show up. So if you show up, you're going to have 3 ways to get in. Down and dirty, which means you roll in, you come inside the park, you get a goodie bag. Now, you're not eligible for judging or giveaways, but you're inside. You're hanging. A lot of good shit happens in there. Like I said, we got in and out. We've got we have over 20 guys on display. Mo Customs being one of them. F&B Racing. Small Engine Cams. In fact, I forgot about Tim at the top of the hour. Small Engine Cams. Tim, thank you for the support. He'll be hosting the Dyno. Next to him, we've got a couple other guys. I think we're putting Premier Mini Bikes up there. We've got Almighty Mini Bikes as I look around. We've got Arleo, 818, Ozzy, Prestige, MB, countless others. A couple manufacturing and welding guys, CF manufacturing and welding. Guys, if I forgot you, there's a lot going on. So we got a lot of cool exhibitors. But the bikes are the stars, and we're going to have a lot of them. Lou from the Dyno is going to be there. If you wanted to attend beyond the Down and Dirty, the general admission, it's $35. Not only do you get inside, but you're eligible for all the judging, which ends at 12. So if you get there late, after 12, unless a miracle happens, dude, you can come in, but the judging's over. We try, though. It depends how good your bike is. We'll know real quick. And then it's $45 if you want to come in and be eligible for the judging and be eligible for the prizes and park, but also get on the dyno. I think Arleo Davis won last time, 34 horsepower, somewhere in that range. I know people talking shit saying they're going to be breaking that record, so I hear that a lot. We'll see. And the rest goes like this. It's on. It's the podcast. Thank you for your patience, Mike. I didn't mean to be rude there, but this is a shameless self-promotion podcast anyways. How are you, brother?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Muzzle up to that. There you go. Get right in there.
Okay.
I know you're busy, and it's tough to get you to drive all the way up. Where did you come from?
South LA.
How long?
Oh man, it took me about
hour
and a half to get up here.
Yeah, good effort.
I was nervous, thought I'm gonna be late, but I made it on time.
So what happened when you rolled up?
I rolled up, man. I saw Jake right there. I'm a racer, so we whoop, whoop, whoop.
Sure.
We started talking about stuff already, and you was inside. You came outside. I met a dude right here. Yeah, he was
Emmanuel.
It was cool, man. It's my first time here, so they'd have me, man. This is a nice setup you got right here, man.
Thank you. We try
to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you. Linda makes sure everybody gets fed.
She fed me, yes.
Good. She makes a good damn sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Jake come fed because he already had some big feast that he had at his workplace. I don't know where you eat like a king at work. That never happened to me. How about you? They didn't serve me nothing where I worked.
Well, I work from home, so I eat what I want.
Well, sure, there you go. All right, so let's get into it. We see you on Instagram at FastMike at Eastside Racing. So what's the root of the East Side? Where is it, and who was it, and what's the whole East Side when we're out here on the West Coast? Help clarify that up.
Well, East Side, that's our racing crew. I'm talking about like South Central, off of like Florence and Central, right around in there. We've been. If the real ones know, like when you're going up Florence for Avalon, there's 2 alleys right there. You gotta look. Back in the days, we first started racing. That was the race strip, and I'm talking about. I've been doing this maybe 50 years now.
Has it been, Mike? Yeah, it goes by quick, doesn't it?
I've been riding since I was 8 years old. They said put me on something. I was a natural. We used to always race for money. You think about it, a kid 8, 9, 10 years old, man, getting 30, 40, 50 bucks for racing. We used to race for the OGs over there, back in the days.
I made 12 a night. I worked at a bakery, and I used to get there at midnight, And you know, by the time I got there, what shape I was in. I worked on Friday nights, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they would have me carry these bags of flour, and they'd make the dough and cut the dough and try to grab the dough. By the time 2 o'clock, I was passed out. And all the OGs used to wait for me to fall asleep. And the way they make that bread with the sesame seeds, they put their hands in the water and then the seeds, and then they put their hands on the bread. So it's like a process.
Yeah.
Well, they did me up, Mike, when I was asleep. They crusted me all up. But
You
back in
woke
the days, $12.
Sesame seated up.
So how much were you making a day? How much you were making racing? Think about it.
Man,
I'd work all night for
I
12
used to
bucks.
get maybe 30, 40 bucks.
Oh, sure. Dude, so
that was a lot, man.
2 days,
Eight,
2
9,
days
10,
wages.
11 years old. So yeah, that was
I'm 65.
that was a lot.
What's your
man.
age?
I'll be 58 this month, matter of fact.
All right. Well, I still got socks older than you.
Yeah,
Damn,
and
you make me feel
yeah,
old.
you got socks older than me. Yeah, but just
So when you started off, who was out there with you at the beginning, and who got you started? Was it a brother? Was it a cousin? Who was it that got you into mini bikes at first? Do you remember?
yeah, it was my friend DC. My friend DC and brother Theron, his dad BW. They had a mini bike. I'm telling you, I was maybe six. I say about 7, 8 years old, and so you know how to ride? I say, yeah, I used to ride like a little dune buggy. It was like a Hot Wheel.
You lied, right?
I lied and I jumped on that thing.
Crash.
And then Pop said, B-Dub said, man, you're a natural, huh?
Oh, okay.
And then next time, there's some guys in the neighborhood had bikes, and they put me on there, and I whipped them.
You're a natural?
I was a natural, man, and
Do you remember the bikes? What were
Yeah,
they at
it
the
was,
time? Were they Joe's at the time? A lot
it was I'm talking, oof, and I'm talking about in the 70s. It was a cat.
Oh, okay, sure.
It was a cat.
Still
like,
popular. Yeah.
maybe at back in them days they had 3 horsepower in it. And if you had a 5 on
Oh,
there,
5 Black Brigs?
I don't know, white ones. We used to get them off them the school sweepers. They used to throw stuff away all the time. But yeah, the big white motors. That's what they had back in them days. Yeah,
No
5
one-
horsepower.
Only the cool guys had the 5 horsepower. You remember?
Oh man, yeah, those things.
I was dying for one of those. I had the little 3.5.
Yeah,
most of
those
the guys-
things was fast.
Yeah. So you immediately became then a jockey.
Yeah, jockey. Yeah.
When prior to that, did you work on bikes? What was
No,
your
I
first
didn't know, I
bike?
didn't know any. Well, my first bike, it just was a regular swing bicycle. I mean, my first mini bike.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got a mini bike maybe about like when I moved from the east side to the west side. Man, about 12 or 10, I got my first mini bike.
What was it?
It was
A lot of guys had Joe's back
man,
there
what's
because you weren't buying a new
you
cat
know
back
what?
then.
You know
Were you,
what's
Mike?
crazy? I haven't seen one of them bikes since. It was a frame, but it had like a 2-piece part come out like this.
Wow.
I haven't seen nothing like that.
Little mini apes.
Yeah, I haven't seen no
Well, we
mini
got-
bike like that. A friend of mine had it.
We'll look into that. I'll talk to you more about that, and we'll try to find out. I love doing that. I had a Bozo, which are kind of nondescript, and many folks like Bonanzas, particularly out here, it was tacos.
Yeah.
But where you came from, it really was a Joe's world at first. Joe's frame
No.
became popular
I'm
after
talking
that.
about in the 70s, early 80s, no, it wasn't. It was just like some, I don't know what kind of bikes they were, but
Well,
I know
here's what they were.
I take that back. The fastest ones were the Yankee Clippers.
Well, shit, now you remind me of talking about a baseball team. Start talking about
Yeah.
the Yankee Clippers. No, back. No, so what
Yeah.
dates are we talking about? You talking about the 80s?
Yeah.
Terrible time for mini bikes.
70s, 80s, Yankee Clippers.
No, 70s are a different time. 70s was the great year. The 60s, around the 80s, it turned into a lot of stuff that was imported and really ragtag. You start thinking about doodle bugs and some of the bikes you buy at the hardware
Yeah,
store.
you're right, too.
Yeah,
I
and
remember
those
too.
became popular because honestly, they were affordable. They're still lurking out there, but under different names. So you raced. When did the wrenching on the bike? Which if you're going to ride, you got to know what you're doing. You got to be able to test
Yeah.
and tune. Were you a natural at building and working on bikes, or is that?
Not at first. I mean, slapping the motor on, fixing the chain, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and
Basics you had. Okay.
And then when I started losing, there are other guys that had faster bikes, and I started paying attention, And then I used to ride those guys' bikes, so I used to know how fast those bikes were. We used to, man.
So you felt it when the bike
Yeah.
had a little cylinder head
Yeah.
work, or if they had a different carburetor or a
Yeah.
different exhaust system.
bigger tires, all that, you know. So
How about the graduation into the flash part, the racing part? Was that pretty much you just show up with the bike and some cash and you're in? Do you remember how all that started for you?
like I said, when I used to race for some of the guys in the neighborhood, you know, like Cobra, I'm talking about the AV, DC, Theron. There was so many guys out there that had fast bikes then. I rode all those guys' bikes, so I didn't really start wrenching until, you know, I stopped. I used to hate losing, you know. I didn't realize those guys, they had money. They knew they had bigger engine. They were doing their thing, but, you know, I caught on quick, you know. And
Sure. Otherwise,
I caught on quick. And I
you're
was
just that guy who shows up and loses his money,
yeah,
right?
I was right there. Yeah.
So
I was right there with him.
something had to happen where you get FastMike. So, I mean, you're no slouch with that name. How did the name pop up? Who gave you the FastMike?
Mosley gave me that name.
Charles.
Mosley gave me that name back in the late 90s. He gave me that name, man.
Tell us that story. You remember when it happened?
Yeah, you know, he's always out, man. You should wait. If anybody was fast, he would say, you should race FastMike. You should race FastMike. And I was like,
He was promoting
after
you?
about 10 times, like, yeah, I kind of like that name, and it just stuck. You know, they started calling me FastMike before I actually got the name. So,
Or earned the
I
name?
just earned the name. So I just grabbed it and went with it. You know, so
How many years now? How many decades?
man, I'm talking about maybe it got to be at least 20 years.
4 decades?
At least
Oh,
20
years. At least 2 of them.
Back in the days, I was just Mike in my early days, but like I said, mostly gave me that.
So
name.
you've got a couple bikes that won the GT championship. You have some bikes that, based on what we see with the videos and some of the social media, popped over 100.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You also had skin in the game with a lot of jockeys. Let's start, if we can, for a second. Who were the guys that were the top jockeys outside of you? Who were some of your tougher competitors that you remember? Who did you look forward to lining up against more so than the others? I'm curious about that.
I mean, you know, as far as pound for pound, you know, I raced prime time a few times. But honestly, though, when I really started going out there and racing, you know, it was like like anybody, and
well, you never really knew who was showing up. It wasn't like
we used to just race up and down the street
But somebody had to
and have fun. But
who's the guy who you remember always beating you? Who were the guys that
honestly,
gave you the toughest times?
you know, I ain't trying to brag, but it wasn't too many guys that actually beat me.
Well, that's why I want to know who they were. Those that,
you know, prime time. He beat us. He beat me. You know.
What class was that, Mike? What were you racing at the time?
I had an 8 horsepower.
That small block?
It was an 8 horsepower. It was just something regular on some low small tire. You know.
Yeah. Street bike.
I just out there. You know, then he had a war formula.
Yeah, sure.
Souped up on alcohol.
That's really not a loss then. That's not even. That ain't balancing too much. It's tough to take it out there.
And he had the juice too, so I know that at first.
So how you should know just by looking at that bike, you're about to get your ass kicked. You still go ahead and do it.
I didn't know. You know, they wanted to race, so we want to race this bike for so. I said, come on, man.
So
I ain't lost nobody. Nobody beat me. You know.
What were those bets at the time?
I don't know. I think about 300, 400, 500 back in the days. You know.
What is it now?
Oh, now, man, now it depends now. 500, 1,000, 1,500. No, it depends. You know, because times are hard. People ain't got a lot of money like they used to back in the days. And like now, it costs more to go fast. It was cheap back then. Man, you blow a motor up, man, you out of 600, 700, 800, 900. The motors I got, you blow one up, man, them cranks are like 500.
Yeah.
Rod 150. Piston 150.
You're building those monster billet motors, right?
Yeah. I build them on the edge. I don't go overboard. I don't know my combination. I got some stuff you put. I said, man, Mike beat us with this. I just know my combinations. You know, doing a long time.
When I look at your roster of bikes, I see GTS bubble backs. Then I see stretched hand built drag bikes.
Yeah.
I don't see variations outside of that. You're either rolling down GTS or GTS modified or your own modified frames. Is that true?
Yeah.
Or-
Actually, I got let's see, flood is a GT. Flood is a GT frame. That's the first long bike he ever made.
Yeah.
It's a lot of them now, so it's cool over there.
Yeah.
That one right there. Then I've got a.
Do you always go with the
you know
long
what's
frame?
crazy? Yeah, you're right too. Flood is GT.
Yeah.
Taz is GT, and I got another bike which they ain't seen yet, but they're gonna see it real quick. That I've been working on.
When are we going to see it?
Yeah, hopefully I may be testing this weekend if I can got to do a little clearing. It's a month. So they might be mad.
Folks, we're live. It's Joe's Minibike Reunion. It is season 9, episode 5. We're long overdue for the podcast, and we're much longer overdue to have my man Mike with us. The date is October 12th. If you don't know by now, climb out from under that rock. Make a plan. If you're anywhere near, where exactly are you?
L.A.
Yeah.
L.A. Cali.
Oh, give me a little bit better. Work with me a little bit. Like, I'm not going to come over and rob your ass. It's like, is it
South Central.
South?
Central,
now no
yeah.
one's going to go. God damn it.
Yeah.
South. If you're anywhere near South Central, dude wants to roll up to Joe's Minibike Reunion. Somebody, any of my guys rolling up that way,
Got a truck,
you're gonna be right off the 110. He'll make it worth your while. Roll out. Here's some stories from the OG himself. Give him a ride. You can reach him at FastMike at Eastside Racing on Instagram, and you don't even need to have me tell you that if you're in the game. Great to have you with us again, Mike. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Looking forward to a big time out there. The apparel's in. I'm so damn excited to get these podcasts over so I could tear through those boxes and see if they didn't fuck up the shirts. It always happens. Then I got to deal with that for the trophies. Come back, they're spelling Joe wrong. You know, it's just one of those things where today I was out there putting up the posters, getting chased by dogs and shit. But I love it. I've got more stuff over here to give away, and a lot of it hasn't come. I opened up a box yesterday. There's more green filters than I know what to do with. I got a box from Yoshimura today. Kevin from Steady Garage is dropping off something. I've got more mother's wax. I could wax your grandmother's ass for like about 50 more decades. All kinds of stuff here. It's going to be a good one. We're looking forward to coming back here for one more episode. It's going to be our pre-show. And Jake Moe, who is the hardest working man on 2 legs, and some will say he has more than 2, he's going to be joining us for the pre-show, the Joe's Minibike, and it's going to be the one we're going to jam that out on Wednesday the 9th. If you do watch this on YouTube, I hate doing this, but we need to. Like it, subscribe to it, make a comment. Like I said before, even if it's a bad one, I don't care. And I want to stay on that topic for 1 second. You guys are killing me with this in and out. Dude, I charge like $2 or $3 more than what it would cost you if you go to In and Out, because it costs money for that truck to come out there. It costs like about somewhere between $750 and $1,000. You fucking choose, all right? That's just for before they even get there. Then I have to commit that all you guys are going to buy at least 400 of these fucking hamburgers. My balls are this big going through this, but I'm doing this because over the years, we've faltered with the food trucks who have come and who haven't come and who hasn't showed up. And, you know, it's just, I really hate the food truck thing. I hate the trophy thing, but those are 2 important things. So come out, bring cash. You don't walk up to the In-N-Out truck. You have to buy these. You can either buy them if you're a participant when you show up to check in, or if you show up on site to register, you'll have a chance to buy In-N-Out burger. About 10 o'clock, we're going to open it up to anybody. But from about, as soon as you get there on 7 o'clock to 10, the only people that can buy In-N-Out are the folks that are participants or exhibitors or sponsors. Because 400 will go. Like, I counted 50 that I need already just for like the people that help me. So there's like 12% right there if my math is getting good. The rest of it is, I'm looking forward to the Hall of Fame. Ozzy as well as Eric. Eric's rolling out with his son from Michigan. There's a Hampton Inn off of the 5 freeway on Glen Oaks Boulevard. Linda and I went by there yesterday. It's a really nice place to, if you want to have a local spot that's close enough and far enough away. And if you want to ride, and I got to stay on this, dude, if you have a non-legal mini bike, don't even think about riding like you guys like to ride. Don't even try that shit in La Crescenta. Believe me, I tell you, I'd be promoting it if you could. They will in a heartbeat be on you. Bring it in the truck. If you have a street legal bike like this, like a little Honda Monkey,
It's nice.
with a license plate, and it's 300cc or less, roll on in. There's a ride with Honda Grom Lifestyle. Go to Instagram, and you can hook up with those guys. They're going to lead a pack from 2nd and Beaudry in downtown and roll up to Joe's Minibike Reunion. Kickstands up about 9. Honda Grom Lifestyle, thank you, Bing, for that. Shout out to my man Steve. Steve's got a ride happening this weekend in Las Vegas. There's still time for you to be there. It happens Friday through Sunday. There's all cool stuff happening over there. Steve_AWD. He's a sponsor. We're here with FastMike, Mike Stevens, OG, definitely a racer, a little bit of a businessman. When you start racing some of these bikes and you start to invest in the bikes in the spirit of winning money racing, it becomes a business, some way, shape, or form. And with that said, what do you do? What's your day job, so to speak? You say you work from home. That could mean a lot of things. What do you do?
I work for a company called National Tire Wholesale. We sell I sell tires,
Yes.
equipment, supplies, patches, wool weights, valve stems, lifts, jacks, racks.
I remember early
All that
on,
kind of- yeah.
you doing some posting on social media
Yeah.
from there often.
Yeah, I've been doing this since '87.
So now you're home selling?
No, yeah, I've been working from home for 4 years now.
Nice.
Get up in the morning and
So
call customers. And,
you're calling retailers and
yeah,
so
call
you're
retail,
selling
yeah.
in bulk, huh?
Yeah, it's bulk,
Nice.
yeah,
Good for you.
bulk it, whatever they need, I got it.
One of the other things that we do is do the Off-Road Expo and the Sand Sport Super Show in all of the tire companies, ranging from General Tire, who's our sponsor, Yokohama, Aturo, and then there's those folks that just make those big wide mud tires. They're right off of Interco,
off-road.
Super Swampers.
Yeah, Super
all
Swamp, yeah.
those. And so all those tire companies, and if it weren't for the tire companies, Mike, and the oil companies, a lot of these events wouldn't exist. They sell
wouldn't,
so
yeah.
many tires and they sell so much gas and those type of
advertise.
parts. Those are the ones. And so indirectly, what you're doing is supporting a lot of automotive enthusiasts because the
Yeah.
tire companies are typically the bigger sponsors. Nitto, Toyo, it goes on when the tire
Yeah.
companies. It's good to have them.
Big time.
I also know a couple guys. One of them has a company that's similar to what you had mentioned, National Tire and Wheel. They're in West Virginia, the Eatons. And they've been selling mail order tires, which ain't easy. You don't stick a fucking tire in an envelope. And
No,
they've been
you
doing
don't.
that from the 70s. And they've
Yeah.
been slinging more tires than the law allows, and he's lived a good life there. It always had that funk when you walked into that building, though. You had that,
Yeah,
that
tire
rubber.
smell, yeah.
Yeah. But it meant money, though, huh?
Well, he'd come on. My wife just tell me, "You smell like a tire." And after a while, she can tell me which brand of tire I smell like too, because they all smell different, you know.
Hey, another thing I see about you is you're a family dude.
Yeah,
You know, if it's not the kids, it's always your mom, particularly.
Yeah.
You've been able to avoid the pitfalls many do, which is a lot of folks once they become a teenager start rolling in the streets. The days of the family, unfortunately,
not
get
me.
distorted.
No, man, I love my family. I got 5 sisters. I'm the only boy, and I love them. I got
What are their names?
my sister Nikole, and then it's Annette, Keisha, Tyr, and Rochelle.
And your mom, I see, is the one gets the
That's
biggest
my
hugs,
mom,
right?
Mary, yeah. My mom, she's special. She would help so many people, you know. We can talk about it. She's like she's a really helper giver, you know. It's amazing, just crazy how unselfish she was as a person.
How was she when you were rolling through your younger days? Maybe, dealing with, I'm sure you had to deal with growing up there.
Oh, she stay on you, you know. She stay. If you ain't gonna work, you better get a job. If you ain't going to school, you better get a job. So
She was good with the mini bike thing?
no, I got hurt that one time. No, she wasn't good with that, you know.
What happened that one time?
Oh man, they put one of them big old 5 horsepower white motors on the cat frame,
The ones you were talking about?
and I couldn't find the brake. I
You were foot braking it back then still, right?
Yeah, the foot brake was about this far out the
Oh,
crank,
yeah.
and I couldn't find it, and
It's like not having it.
it was either the wall or the ground. So
Took the ground?
I chose the wall, the
Oh.
ground.
Which one?
I chose the ground.
Yeah.
I let the bike go. And
Yeah.
hit the wall and blew up.
Well, the human body is kind of used to the ground. It is
Yeah.
not set up for the wall.
It's not just for the wall. I mean,
What'd you have on? Anything?
I just was riding the bike, and
Did you have anything on? It
was my fault. I just saw the brake. I had a feel for the brakes. They were set, and by the time to stop, I couldn't find the brake. I didn't have time to look for the brake, so let the bike go. We crashed the bike. But I replaced the bike for him.
How about you? How were you?
I just was scraped up. It would hurt. I just was scraped my knees up, my elbows and stuff. But it
Was that one of a few falls, or was that the one that just maybe had you think a little bit differently?
that was the first one that taught me don't just jump on anybody's bike.
It's inevitable.
Yeah.
It's going to happen to you when you're on that bike, no matter if it's your first time, you've been on it 1,000 times, because we're going faster, aren't they?
Oh man, they going
So
a
let's
lot
get
faster.
So talk about so frame wise, it is custom drag frames or it is GTS.
Yeah.
There's the yellow bike as well. Is that the bike that went 100 miles an hour?
Which yellow?
Or
one?
no,
I
the
mean,
black one. The black one. I thought there was an Instagram post with a black bike. It looked like a bigger tire.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
actually, I got 200 mile an hour bikes.
Well, talk
got
about the first
Taz.
one. When was the first time?
The first one was Flood, the blue bike.
Okay.
Flood.
I wonder if I'm getting the blue bike confused for the black bike. I think that I may be.
Well,
Okay.
I got two of them.
So when did that, and who was watching it, and what are you showing that it went 100? You got a gun on it?
Man,
or
it's I built that bike. I don't know if you know. I lost my son in 219. That was his nickname. So I wanted to.
No, I didn't know that.
To make something to remember his name by. So that's what Flood on his seat. That's the name on his seat.
Gee, Mike, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
I'm devastated. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
it's unfortunate that happened. So that bike doing that kind of meant something to me. So me and Bert Home Alone, we had been testing that bike. It's just getting faster and faster. Like I say, just made some adjustments, and we went out there night before, hit 100 on Anna testing it. Then they had the tournament. Man, that sucker burned rubber 8 feet out the hole and still hit 100. That was the first one.
Home Alone jockey?
Yeah, man. That's it. Look on Day Date's page. It's just posted on his page that it did 100.
When was that?
2 years ago.
Yeah.
2 years
So
ago.
that's fresh.
They had one of the state of state tournaments. Did 100, but like I said, they did 100 before that anyway. We just was testing it.
What about the triple repeat GTS tourney when?
Oh yeah, we won. Flood won the last year, the first GT tournament of the year, and then Taz won the second GT tournament of the year, and then I won the heavyweight tournament in June on Flood.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm
So
looking
you all had
forward to
different jockeys.
Yeah,
Nice.
looking forward to fitting my title, and I'm faster now.
Without letting the cat out of the bag, what do you? Is it constantly the edge being what you could do just with the engine, or how much does the rest of those adjustments, whether it's tires or whether it's tire pressure or whether it's chains or whether it's exhaust, how much are the add-ons when it comes down to getting that extra nudge that you need to go beyond winning and losing? I mean, is it all about the engine, or are those other things?
It's just adjustments, the maintenance. After me, I mean, like I said, thinking about it, man, you the motor blow up, man, you might be out $1,000 so
Easy.
the maintenance, man.
Yeah.
So every 3-4 races, I take the motor off the frame, open it up, look at it, change the bearings,
All the preventive
seal.
maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can make I can see if there's anything wrong, fix it then. Because, man, when they blow up, let's blow up,
Are you working on the engine with others? Are you working on the bike itself? Like who's in there? Like who's your pit team? Who are your go-to
Man,
guys?
it's
Is it
just
all-
me. I
just you?
build my own stuff.
And like who's driving with you to the car? Who's sitting with the lawn chair enjoying this? Who's putting gas in that with you? Who's
Just me.
just you? You
Yeah.
like it that way?
Well, when Bird's on vacation right now, but yeah, normally it's with me and Bird home alone. That's Big Rick. That's part of the crew and trend. But man, he just me Bird home alone. That's the main ones. And now,
All right,
you know,
so you have a little bit of a group.
yeah,
there. Yeah.
As far as the building and the maintaining, that's like I said, I work from home, so I got all day sometimes to mess with stuff.
Yeah, but when it's time to go down to Anna Street or wherever, who you calling?
I tell Home Alone to meet me out there.
Yeah.
My main thing is, all I want to do is test and tune the bike, put it on the gun, see where it's at, and put it on the shelf. Next night you can come by my house, next time you get down, I can show you something. When I want to put it on the shelf, that means it's ready to rock and roll.
Folks, we're winding down. This is our 5th episode this year. E and I have been pretty busy. I'd like to take a second and thank you, E, for all the hard work. Everybody have a chance to check E out, see them. They're usually right next to the official Joe's Minibike Reunion tent that Linda's behind. Go over there, buy a t-shirt, buy a poster, say hi. Meet Max, our grandson. Say hello to Nikole and Dave. They'll be there for a little while, until the baby says he wants to go. He's only 4 months old, so we don't know how long he's going to hang. But Emmanuel will be there with his family, and they'll be there for a great cause, scleroderma. He's got a truckload of water, and it's available for donations. So save a couple pennies, save a quarter a day until the mini bike show, and then bring it to him. You know what I mean? Or if you're able to do a little bit more, or if you can't, then enjoy the water, compliments of them. But his daughter will be there, and she's already a walking conglomerate. I won't steal her thunder, but she had all kinds of decals and jewelry and cool things. Kids liked it, the ladies like it, and one of my gay buddies loved it as well, because it's all good at Joe's Minibike Reunion. We don't care. Come
Yeah.
on, come on.
I always have fun. I go up there.
Don't you?
Yeah.
What is it about the show? Now, you've been going for a minute, right?
Yeah, you see all the people, all the bikes. You
Remember
see
in the
some
beginning?
stuff you ain't seen before. That's what I like.
Do you remember the beginning?
Yeah, years ago.
So I had more of those signs.
Yeah.
Those big signs. I had more of those than mini bikes.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I always tell that story. It's been fun, and I really want to fill it up. Before I go up there or down there or somewhere in the middle, I want to fill that whole park up. And maybe this conversation with Mike has inspired some of you racers to, show up. Come and
Show
say
up,
hi to
yeah,
him.
just show up, bring your bike.
So you're in the top 50 personalities. How'd that go down? I'm glad that you're finally able to get a couple into your hands. And
Yeah,
you signed it up there. Did you get any play on that?
Yeah, people,
There you go. There you go.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
A few guys hit me up, but it's an honor, I mean, like I say, I've been doing this a long time, it's an honor, man. It's being recognized for doing what I do. My wife, I say, hey, you too old for that. Hey, you have no idea.
I feel the same.
So now she knows
Yeah.
what's at stake,
Yeah.
and she supports me
So I'm
100%.
I'm about a decade above you age-wise, and now with the grandkid, you particularly wonder, about being out on bikes, especially those little fast, rigid frame mini bikes, right?
Yeah.
Even anything but everything we do is a risk. So you do what you do, and as long as you want to, and
Yeah,
as long as you
exactly.
can, and you keep
Make
on
sure
doing
it's-
that, Mike.
Make sure everything's straight.
Anybody out there that maybe you'd like to give a shout out to or recognize when you look back at this long-standing time? You mentioned MDB, you mentioned Home Alone, you mentioned a couple other guys out there. Anybody else you want to maybe give a shout out to?
Yeah, my big boy Rick, Big Rick, man.
Big Rick. Big Rick used to be an OG at our shows.
Yeah, that's my boy, man.
Yeah. I haven't seen him in a minute. Is he good?
He's good.
All right.
Believe it or not, that's the guy that I took my first L to. We were racing with little kids.
I'm glad that came up then.
Yeah,
You conveniently forgot about that when I asked you earlier.
First person to ever beat me.
Mm.
And he
Now-
beat me,
Well, it's coming up at
And
the
I
end
could
of
say, you know,
well, lucky for you, that's coming
Yeah,
up at the end of the podcast.
we became good friends after that too.
Who else?
You know, like my far as it, I mean, well, who like really inspired me to.
No, the ones that are going to be pissed off you didn't mention them when you go home after hearing this podcast. Who are those people? Let's get them. Let's get them.
BDMS, Big Daryl.
Sure.
He's a good
He'll
dude.
be there.
That's a good dude.
He'll be there. I was
I've
talking
been
to him
knowing
over.
Jake Moe for a while, like F&B.
How about Jake Moe? Give me a quick Jake Moe. When was the first time you met him?
I met Jake Moe. He matter of fact, I got the you know I own the prime time Gravedigger frame. That's my bike.
No, not prime time. Gravedigger. I thought
The
I
one he-
confused you with someone else. So my bad.
Yeah. I got that bike, and that's I guess one of his friends made that, but that's how I was turned on to him, you know. And it's just so many guys out there, you know.
What do the guys say when Jake's name comes up?
He do good work, pipes, welding. He do good work. He then you can say he do good work.
For sure.
Simple as that, you
For
know.
sure, for
Everything
sure.
professional. Wells are nice.
Yeah, nice guy too.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man. He do good work.
You'll see him as well as Mike at the upcoming Joe's Minibike Reunion. FastMike, check him out on Instagram. He's raced. He's come. That shirt got me. If you guys haven't seen the shirt, we'll have you check it out. Thanks for being a part of the podcast. Thanks for
Man. Thanks
doing
for
what
having,
you do.
Thanks for having me, you know. Appreciate it.
Now look, I've made a plea for anybody with a truck to come and get you.
Okay.
Short of you renting one for $19.95 plus
Yeah.
mileage. I hope to see you.
I'll be there. Believe me, I'll be there.
All right, then. Well, there you have it. You're going to see him at Joe's Minibike Reunion on the 12th. Hey, thanks to our sponsors again, our friends from Go Power Sports, small engine cams. Forgot to mention Tim at the top of the hour, going back and forth with him. Thank you, Tim, for helping support us with the dyno sponsorship. Pretty appropriate, huh, Mike?
Yeah.
Small engine cam sponsor the dyno. He's right there. We got F&B out there.
Yeah, that's Frank.
Yeah, and Brian, I'm sure you got some of
Frank
those
and Brian,
stories,
yeah.
huh?
Those my, I've known those guys forever, too.
Two great guys. You have a
two
chance to
great
catch up
guys,
with
yeah.
them. A lot of young guys, too. And we were talking about that. In fact, I made a post. It's like the worst thing we can do for our hobby is have OGs not show the love to the young guys. And it ain't
Yeah.
always easy. In fact, when we ride, it's tough. You guys are in two different worlds. Know that. Been there. But let's all try to make a little bit of a better effort. The younger guys, a little more respect for the OGs, and the OGs maybe not too tough on the young guys, right? Let's all do our best to help a newbie.
Yeah.
You know, do that for me, guys, and we'll have a great show. We extended a personal invitation to anybody that we know. Do the same. If you know anybody who's into this hobby, even if you got a hardcore Harley guy, invite him to a little mini bike show. Watch. He'll have a great time. For more information about the podcast, we tried to answer, or not about the podcast as much as the event and the podcast. Go to the website, joesminibikereunion.com. Pre-registration is over by the time you hear this. And we will be airing our final episode before the event on Wednesday, the 9th, after 7 p.m. Pacific time on JMBR podcast on YouTube. Comment, like it, do whatever you want. Shout out to Go Power Sports again, as we said, small engine cams, our friends from Studs Racing. I don't know, I'm probably forgetting one or two because that's what I do. Big shout out to Nikole, Dave, Max, Linda, love you guys, as well as there's a dude out in Arizona, Minibike Danny, I think is his name. Minibike Danny, watching you do your thing out there, sweating your ass off over there in Arizona. Some guys from Sacramento, some dudes from San Diego, and a shout out to Brian and Jessica and Bree. Bree, I'm sorry. I know I swear too much on the podcast, but you're 9 years old. You shouldn't be watching it anyways, but we love you. All right. Joe's Minibike Reunion podcast. Hope you had a good one. I know that we did. Did you have a good time, Mike?
Yes, I did.
We'll see you the next time. Peace.
Joe's Minibike Show.